fluency, fluency. Consent, consent. Terrified, terrified. Successor, successor. Retired, retired. Allocation, allocation. Respective, respective. Expert, expert. Bleach, bleach. Stationary, stationary. Potent, potent. Mortgage, mortgage. Ongoing, ongoing. Enlighten, enlighten. Invisible, invisible. Exult, exult. Unleaded, unleaded. Peripheral, peripheral. Embarrass, embarrass. Reservoir, reservoir. Artery, artery. Concept, concept. Quotation, quotation. Negotiate, negotiate. Inaction, inaction. Violation, violation. Retailing, retailing. Hail, hail. Circulate, circulate. Suffice, suffice. Conspicuous, conspicuous. Individuality, individuality. Spurious, spurious. Passive, passive. Observance, observance. Production, production. Pious, pious. Mortal, mortal. Sovereignty, sovereignty. Reap, reap. Temperate, temperate. Decoration, decoration. Asthma, asthma. Contradiction, contradiction. Hospitality, hospitality. Meanwhile, meanwhile. Woe, woe. Accessible, accessible. Downtime, downtime. Credence, credence. Exposure, exposure. Vague, vague. Emission, emission. Blockage, blockage. Hardy, hardy. Unconcern, unconcern. Breed, breed. Instinctive, instinctive. Tempest, tempest. Scowl, scowl. Ebb, ebb. Oriented, oriented. Misgiving, misgiving. Snatch, snatch. Jury, jury. Munch, munch. Overcharge, overcharge. Geometry, geometry. Ludicrous, ludicrous. Gallant, gallant. Creed, creed. Management, management. Reference, reference. Aquaculture, aquaculture. Hesitancy, hesitancy. Migrant, migrant. Depart, depart. Strain, strain. Stall, stall. Monarchy, monarchy. Readership, readership. Chemistry, chemistry. Succession, succession. Constitution, constitution. detrimental, detrimental. Jeopardy, jeopardy. Prejudge, prejudge. Optical, optical. Perceive, perceive. Cicada, cicada. Jest, jest. Exodus, exodus. Occupation, occupation. Synchronize, synchronize. Beneficent, beneficent. Inhabitant, inhabitant. Sharpen, sharpen. Indicate, indicate. Cram, cram. Unification, unification. Abstraction, abstraction. Prevent, prevent. Explosive, explosive. Impartial, impartial. Peril, peril. Invocation, invocation. Relic, relic. Adaptation, adaptation. Expedition, expedition. Rejection, rejection. Revise, revise. Plague, plague. Sober, sober. Constraint, constraint. Impart, impart. Decay, decay. Urge, urge. Decorative, decorative. Irritability, irritability. Frigid, frigid. Warranty, warranty. Stainless, stainless. Reside, reside. Initiation, initiation. Vanity, vanity. Veteran, veteran. Hostile, hostile. Secure, secure. Rejuvenate, rejuvenate. Barter, barter. Meditate, meditate. Quantify, quantify. Probable, probable. Vapor, vapor. Burrow, burrow. Inscription, inscription. Exultation, exultation. Indolent, indolent. Monopolize, monopolize. Prominent, prominent. Significance, significance. Generously, generously. Accountable, accountable. Misconstrue, misconstrue. Astronomical, astronomical. Doubtless, doubtless. Elaborate, elaborate. Restrictive, restrictive. Populous, populous. Confident, confident. Glamorous, glamorous. Coarse, coarse. Vulgar, vulgar. Bolster, bolster. Misunderstand, misunderstand. Perception, perception. Dexterity, dexterity. Intellectual, intellectual. Conscious, conscious. Cope, cope. Treatise, treatise. Eminent, eminent. Jolt, jolt. Compressed, compressed. Civilize, civilize. formula, formula, soak, soak, dominant, dominant, haze, haze, freshness, freshness, publicity, publicity, equatorial, equatorial, slightly, slightly, relocation, relocation, consultation, consultation. Frugal, frugal, upheaval, upheaval, demanding, demanding, collision, collision, compensate, compensate, sunburst, sunburst, conjecture, conjecture, geology, geology, privation, privation, undesirable, undesirable, certification, certification, intensity, intensity, itchiness, itchiness, characterize, characterize, breathless, breathless, guarantee, guarantee, modest, modest, economical, economical, tilt, tilt, suspend, suspend, lightweight, lightweight, botany, botany, initial, initial, vent, vent, heritage, heritage. Elegy, elegy, bondholder, bondholder, timely, timely, barbarian, barbarian, mere, mere, tracing, tracing, livelihood, livelihood, meantime, meantime, ancestral, ancestral, justify, justify, advancement, advancement, accommodation, accommodation, counsel, counsel, core, core, methodology, methodology, non-believer, non-believer, plain, plain, pioneer, pioneer, heir, heir, advocate, advocate, remedy, remedy, identical, identical, imperative, imperative, blemish, blemish, emerge, emerge. Untainted, untainted, obviously, obviously, peninsula, peninsula, precautious, precautious, configuration, configuration, considerable, considerable, adhesive, adhesive, slavish, slavish, exposition, exposition, dilute, dilute, endangered, endangered, simplify, simplify, automatic, automatic, mandatory, mandatory, freight, freight, illiteracy, illiteracy, allocate, allocate, copious, copious, donor, donor, transition, transition, haste, haste, retrogress, retrogress. Efficiently, efficiently. Faculty, faculty. Lunatic, lunatic. Misfortune, misfortune. Venue, venue. Enterprise, enterprise. Intuition, intuition. Concur, concur. Censure, censure. Withhold, withhold. Cuisine, cuisine. Scarcely, scarcely. Fluctuation, fluctuation. Creep, creep. Droop, droop. Intelligible, intelligible. Stiffness, stiffness. Anterior, anterior. Brood, brood. Impeccable, impeccable. Malevolent, malevolent. Insolence, insolence. Rebellious, rebellious. Ambassador, ambassador. Founder, founder. Uptight, uptight. Impervious, impervious. Aloof, aloof. Compel, compel. Lamentable, lamentable. Performance, performance. Plaintiff, plaintiff. Noxious, noxious. Dialect, dialect. Tumor, tumor. Suppress, suppress. Dumpling, dumpling. Rustling, rustling. Sympathize, sympathize. Resonate, resonate. Outstanding, outstanding. Volatile, volatile. Transverse, transverse. Scarce, scarce. Divert, divert. Distorted, distorted. Crisp, crisp. Similarity, similarity. Reliability, reliability. Fanciful, fanciful. Shrink, shrink. Cheery, cheery. Saline, saline. Orbit, orbit. Distinction, distinction. Innovation, innovation. Hereditary, hereditary. Undergraduate, undergraduate. Fluctuate, fluctuate. Participant, participant. Radius, radius. Foremost, foremost. Affront, affront. Postscript, postscript. Benefactor, benefactor. Worm, worm. Accordance, accordance. Agricultural, agricultural. Vile, vile. Hibernate, hibernate. Localize, localize. Plunge, plunge. Geography, geography. Incredulous, incredulous. Stable, stable. Acceptable, acceptable. Alley, alley. Reproductive, reproductive. Paragraph, paragraph. medieval, medieval, renown, renown, violently, violently, alliance, alliance, uncivilized, uncivilized, preferable, preferable, perpetuate, perpetuate, abbreviation, abbreviation, condensation, condensation, deride, deride, mechanical, mechanical, crook, crook, yield, yield, boundary, boundary, substitute, substitute, misspell, misspell, convictive, convictive, observatory, observatory, stout, stout, wither, wither, likelihood, likelihood, anniversary, anniversary, remnant, remnant, historical, historical. Procedure, procedure, salvage, salvage, leakage, leakage, authority, authority, ignorance, ignorance, obscure, obscure, enthusiastic, enthusiastic, comply, comply, fermentation, fermentation, verification, verification, spouse, spouse, arrangement, arrangement, marvelous, marvelous, flee, flee, adaption, adaption, weep, weep, confiscate, confiscate, chapel, chapel, insanitary, insanitary, monopoly, monopoly, aggravate, aggravate, poisonous, poisonous, encouraging, encouraging, unpleasant, unpleasant, sizable, sizable. Predisposition, predisposition, onlooker, onlooker, territory, territory, exceptionally, exceptionally, intake, intake, circulation, circulation, bustle, bustle, thirst, thirst, seclude, seclude, vice, vice, raid, raid, implacable, implacable, navigation, navigation, buck, buck, physician, physician, census, census, honorable, honorable, transparency, transparency, pension, pension, confer, confer, humility, humility, ferocious, ferocious, amendment, amendment, contraction, contraction, threaten, threaten. Climatic, climatic, gravitate, gravitate, fallacious, fallacious, clamor, clamor, supervise, supervise, moss, moss, energetic, energetic, suffocation, suffocation, perplexed, perplexed, antidote, antidote, loosen, loosen, task force, task force, thriving, thriving, outrage, outrage, optional, optional, apparent, apparent, courteous, courteous, intricate, intricate, photography, photography, carnivore, carnivore, familiarize, familiarize, aloneness, aloneness, assent, assent, delivery, delivery, reverse, reverse. Converge, converge, tread, tread, chivalry, chivalry, identify, identify, absorption, absorption, assault, assault, divisive, divisive, luncheon, luncheon, prohibition, prohibition, affectation, affectation, wander, wander, aging, aging, interstate, interstate, tentative, tentative, daunt, daunt, constituent, constituent, contentment, contentment, whereas, whereas, turmoil, turmoil, barely, barely, representative, representative, confinement, confinement, televise, televise, explanation, explanation, misdeed, misdeed. Forbear, forbear, bewildered, bewildered, plumb, plumb, sediment, sediment, restless, restless, lapse, lapse, extort, extort, progressive, progressive, exempt, exempt, sprawl, sprawl, package, package, regretful, regretful, expose, expose, suffocate, suffocate, decompose, decompose, chirp, chirp, monotone, monotone, mercury, mercury, gratify, gratify, avenge, avenge, pillar, pillar, ballot, ballot, elegance, elegance, moderation, moderation, splendor, splendor. Attainment, attainment, sage, sage, blur, blur, theological, theological, authenticate, authenticate, revere, revere, hazard, hazard, apparel, apparel, tribal, tribal, patrol, patrol, invasion, invasion, credible, credible, faulty, faulty, impetus, impetus, cosmopolis, cosmopolis, incapable, incapable, discord, discord, rebel, rebel, utmost, utmost, spatial, spatial, captive, captive, horrid, horrid, shrewd, shrewd, magnificence, magnificence, frequently, frequently.
Critique, critique, disposal, disposal, respiration, respiration, relief, relief, gymnastics, gymnastics, astray, astray, browse, browse, contribution, contribution, trample, trample, haughty, haughty, wobble, wobble, enforcement, enforcement, feign, feign, homage, homage, crave, crave, defiance, defiance, oppress, oppress, detergent, detergent, thereby, thereby, utensil, utensil, reckless, reckless, prosper, prosper, entrust, entrust, stuff, stuff, liberal, liberal. Dramatic, dramatic, nagging, nagging, sinner, sinner, blunder, blunder, absolutely, absolutely, hierarchy, hierarchy, shed, shed, famish, famish, cruelty, cruelty, momentary, momentary, collapse, collapse, majority, majority, formulation, formulation, bewilderment, bewilderment, settlement, settlement, depository, depository, polster, polster, relaxed, relaxed, illustrate, illustrate, preconception, preconception, glacial, glacial, classification, classification, impact, impact, pursuit, pursuit, discriminatory, discriminatory. Obtrusive, obtrusive, defy, defy, bomber, bomber, appearance, appearance, opposed, opposed, infectious, infectious, established, established, hijack, hijack, twirl, twirl, savage, savage, mitigate, mitigate, visualize, visualize, bust, bust, substantial, substantial, falsehood, falsehood, notably, notably, impression, impression, adopt, adopt, decadence, decadence, eclipse, eclipse, mediation, mediation, exclusive, exclusive, individual, individual. Germinate, germinate. Exemplify, exemplify. Fraud, fraud. Conceive, conceive. Insulation, insulation. Innate, innate. Misleading, misleading. Horizontally, horizontally. Frustrate, frustrate. Hoard, hoard. Dishearten, dishearten. Forgetful, forgetful. Appoint, appoint. Meaningful, meaningful. Light bulb, light bulb. Illiterate, illiterate. Frail, frail. Miserable, miserable. Blasting, blasting. Acquaint, acquaint. Hearsay, hearsay. Retail, retail. Seemingly, seemingly. Prevalence, prevalence. Relive, relive. Rapture, rapture. Adapt, adapt. Longevity, longevity. Cultivated, cultivated. Resist, resist. Swarm, swarm. Eloquent, eloquent. Contrast, contrast. Erupt, erupt. Critically, critically. Abnormal, abnormal. Roam, roam. Liberate, liberate. Headlong, headlong. Feet, feet. Millionaire, millionaire. Contribute, contribute. Propaganda, propaganda. Conclusive, conclusive. Greenhouse, greenhouse. Nutrition, nutrition. Respectively, respectively. Restriction, restriction. Perseverance, perseverance. Disillusion, disillusion. Integrity, integrity. Ingenious, ingenious. Immodest, immodest. Antagonize, antagonize. Appropriate, appropriate. Rib, rib. Right, right. Supervision, supervision. Spectate, spectate. Ungrammatical, ungrammatical. Burglary, burglary. Gradation, gradation. Inability, inability. Urination, urination. Fossil, fossil. Decency, decency. Thrifty, thrifty. Glacier, glacier. Instantaneous, instantaneous. Wrongdoing, wrongdoing. Indecisive, indecisive. Thorn, thorn. Competitiveness, competitiveness. Verses, verses. Hasten, hasten. Inspiration, inspiration. Twofold, twofold. Diversity, diversity. Deprive, deprive. Bleed, bleed, intercept, intercept, rarity, rarity, distribution, distribution, discrete, discrete, short term, short term, reputation, reputation, replacement, replacement, dreary, dreary, overthrow, overthrow, irregular, irregular, worsen, worsen, explicitly, explicitly, negligence, negligence, brew, brew, deluge, deluge, specific, specific, surrounding, surrounding, positively, positively, swindle, swindle, dense, dense, countless, countless, impose, impose. Assort, assort, obstruction, obstruction, unintended, unintended, concede, concede, popularity, popularity, prospect, prospect, thrust, thrust, bulge, bulge, receiver, receiver, intermission, intermission, upkeep, upkeep, refine, refine, compromise, compromise, comet, comet, research, research, escalate, escalate, residence, residence, literature, literature, represent, represent, pomp, pomp, abundance, abundance, protrusion, protrusion, compliance, compliance, mockery, mockery, deterioration, deterioration. Communist, communist, rob, rob, swoop, swoop, purchase, purchase, unjust, unjust, dairy, dairy, compatible, compatible, innocuous, innocuous, nag, nag, irritate, irritate, rust, rust, incisive, incisive, pursuant, pursuant, barren, barren, auspicious, auspicious, lance, lance, mainly, mainly, division, division, infant, infant, topple, topple, yearn, yearn, deface, deface, disparity, disparity, prose, prose, sinister, sinister. Passage, passage, finance, finance, intonation, intonation, behold, behold, multinational, multinational, enduring, enduring, rebuke, rebuke, affirm, affirm, playwright, playwright, pompous, pompous, gravity, gravity, deposit, deposit, drawback, drawback, guidance, guidance, humanity, humanity, shield, shield, postage, postage, roast, roast, abate, abate, coastline, coastline, concentrate, concentrate, quarterly, quarterly, majestic, majestic, submarine, submarine, endorse, endorse. Rustle, rustle, prevail, prevail, repudiate, repudiate, caprice, caprice, retirement, retirement, supportive, supportive, lukewarm, lukewarm, addicted, addicted, drainage, drainage, consistently, consistently, norm, norm, recourse, recourse, priority, priority, antagonistic, antagonistic, solicit, solicit, imminent, imminent, valiant, valiant, pretentious, pretentious, fabricate, fabricate, migration, migration, severe, severe, slope, slope, translucent, translucent, cargo, cargo, aspire, aspire. Evolution, evolution, ferment, ferment, inject, inject, outpoint, outpoint, commune, commune, algebra, algebra, instigate, instigate, generic, generic, customs, customs, novice, novice, imperious, imperious, fleet, fleet, variant, variant, hospitalize, hospitalize, surmount, surmount, demolish, demolish, versatile, versatile, arrogant, arrogant, toe, toe, posture, posture, cautiously, cautiously, nonverbal, nonverbal, discretion, discretion, resilient, resilient, aspect, aspect. Vicious, vicious, prosaic, prosaic, activate, activate, therapy, therapy, despair, despair, tumult, tumult, trail, trail, thread, thread, taxation, taxation, existence, existence, affable, affable, rehabilitate, rehabilitate, intimidate, intimidate, intentional, intentional, languid, languid, optimism, optimism, articulate, articulate, exhibition, exhibition, genetic, genetic, occurrence, occurrence, numerous, numerous, innovate, innovate, droplet, droplet, weed, weed, following, following. Discriminate, discriminate, agitate, agitate, curable, curable, reticent, reticent, satisfaction, satisfaction, forage, forage, insane, insane, dissection, dissection, welfare, welfare, assassin, assassin, hue, hue, lagoon, lagoon, assembly, assembly, disarmament, disarmament, salient, salient, security, security, deserving, deserving, downfall, downfall, substation, substation, dispersal, dispersal, obsolete, obsolete, refusal, refusal, surpass, surpass, embryo, embryo, relevance, relevance. Definitive, definitive, misuse, misuse, evade, evade, memorable, memorable, nuisance, nuisance, reverie, reverie, presumably, presumably, common sense, common sense, forbidden, forbidden, belly, belly, prescribe, prescribe, instability, instability, latent, latent, freezing, freezing, garment, garment, curfew, curfew, gasp, gasp, ovation, ovation, brute, brute, stroll, stroll, credulous, credulous, furtive, furtive, modesty, modesty, estimate, estimate, measure, measure. Agitation, agitation, abominate, abominate, revolutionary, revolutionary, tenuous, tenuous, delusive, delusive, pledge, pledge, perfunctory, perfunctory, drought, drought, suspension, suspension, feminine, feminine, genuine, genuine, wistful, wistful, explosion, explosion, persist, persist, motivate, motivate, odorous, odorous, distortion, distortion, sue, sue, awkward, awkward, satisfactory, satisfactory, conquer, conquer, duplicate, duplicate, fixture, fixture, exhausted, exhausted, appease, appease. Queasy, queasy, notwithstanding, notwithstanding, cosmetic, cosmetic, alternative, alternative, promotion, promotion, possession, possession, inscribe, inscribe, abdomen, abdomen, focal, focal, petroleum, petroleum, response, response, manufacture, manufacture, stagnate, stagnate, density, density, compute, compute, beset, beset, accomplish, accomplish, vigilant, vigilant, awe, awe, undoubted, undoubted, conceit, conceit, efface, efface, procure, procure, racism, racism, brawl, brawl. Imprison, imprison, theme, theme, bilingual, bilingual, apprehensive, apprehensive, coordinate, coordinate, duration, duration, vice versa, vice versa, depict, depict, destructive, destructive, fertilizer, fertilizer, relatively, relatively, methodical, methodical, contagion, contagion, posterior, posterior, economics, economics, concerning, concerning, deem, deem, mumble, mumble, fleck, fleck, nibble, nibble, distort, distort, objective, objective, groove, groove, intelligent, intelligent, adjacent, adjacent. Trifle, trifle, dependable, dependable, intrinsic, intrinsic, strife, strife, saddle, saddle, indent, indent, failure, failure, emotional, emotional, expressive, expressive, precipice, precipice, contemplate, contemplate, fossilize, fossilize, trek, trek, evaporate, evaporate, homicide, homicide, addiction, addiction, hitherto, hitherto, particularly, particularly, vocation, vocation, widower, widower, correction, correction, demoralize, demoralize, statesman, statesman, precept, precept, primarily, primarily. Criterion, criterion, propitious, propitious, ear-splitting, ear-splitting, concise, concise, fawning, fawning, recurrence, recurrence, satirical, satirical, jeopardize, jeopardize, statistical, statistical, profane, profane, instinct, instinct, merge, merge, vitalize, vitalize, haul, haul, demur, demur, inclination, inclination, heighten, heighten, gaunt, gaunt, petty, petty, resume, resume, systematic, systematic, attachment, attachment, omission, omission, irrigate, irrigate, grasp, grasp,